Good time zones, my Sakonauts. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as the Witch of Tylwyth Teg, and today we are talking about a book that was here. There it is. We are talking about The Witch's Book of Self-Care by Aaron Murphy Hiscock, and today we're talking about magical journaling. All right. How are my people? My people are active today. Hello, Spence. Journaling talk. I've been journaling almost all month. I've been really helpful, creative, and emotionally. Absolutely. Hooray! Hi, Katerina. Love journaling talk. I journal every day. Magical and mundane put together. It's awesome. That is excellent news. It's very healthy. I do my card pull just before I do my journal for the day. It's been really helpful for learning the cards and as a journal prompt. Speaking of journal prompts and pulling cards of the day and all of that hoo-ha, normally I would run you guys through a grounding ritual. What do you guys think? I kind of want to eat my breakfast and read a book. What say you guys? Pull the card first and then run the thingy. You can absolutely use these cards as journal prompts. Mr. Spence is also here listening today. All right. Hi, Mr. Spence. All right. Ooh, strength. I hadn't seen this deck's version of strength. I rather dig it. And that means strength in pretty much all aspects. Oop. 8, 8, 8. Okay. Leo. Strength is not only a card of physical strength, but often points to your inner strength. It shows your growth and maturity in that you have been able to deal with challenging situations with compassion and patience. It is natural for humans to have animalistic instincts, and you have learned to tame the beast to become guided by a higher consciousness. Master your impulses and take responsibility for yourself and your actions. With this power of self-control, you will be able to approach your problems powerfully and gracefully. Courage and patience are both needed in facing your fears. Connecting your inner and outer strength is key to embodying this impenetrable, ferocious energy with finesse and prowess. Know that you have all the tools necessary to not only persevere, but to thrive. Grounding is needed today. Then I will take a bite of my hash brown and then run you guys through some grounding. Well, I thought I was going to eat a hash brown, but I'm not finding one. Oh, there it is. It like just showed up. All right. I would like to start this morning with a grounding ritual to start your day. Eat first. Food is good. I don't know how long it's going to take me to eat, unless you want me to do it at the end of the day, or end of the stream, which I can do as well. But usually we're like eyeballs deep in some kind of cool conversation. I might not do it like super ASMR-y. Mr. Spence is waiting for me to do it, so now it's fine. Okay. This starts near your domain, so if you've not created a domain, you might want to sign up for my newsletter. So you get a free download of the domain meditation, and that is linked below in the description. Sit with your hands in your lap and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment, and as you let it out completely through your mouth, let go of the tension from the night and the grogginess of the morning. Take another deep breath in. As you breathe in, imagine you are breathing in pure love. As you breathe out, imagine you are breathing out forgiveness. Take a third deep breath in, and as you do so, imagine a light coming in at the top of your head. It enters at the top of your head and it spreads down over your face, neck, and shoulders. This cleansing light now expands along your back, down your legs, and out through your feet. It is as if cleansing light is a constant flow of soothing energy entering from your head and passing out through the arches of your feet. You are just outside the door of your domain. The air is crisp and cool, the evergreens sway slightly in the breeze, and the ground has a large patch of moss at your feet. Step barefoot onto the moss. Feel how soft it is. Feel the solid ground underneath. That light coming into your head can now be translated into energy that you can send out your feet. Convert the light into roots and send the roots out the bottoms of your feet and deep into the earth, as deep as you can. The soil is fresh, easy to toil, easy to carve a path down. Feel how anchored you are, how close to the earth. Reach as far down as you can. The earth hugs your roots comfortably, no matter how sharp or curly, no matter how many times they split off. Slowly pull the roots back up the way they came. Your roots slither through the dark, the soil filling in its wake. Pull the roots back into your feet, convert it back to the light, and let the light filter through you and out the top of your head. Take one more deep breath in and begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes. Welcome. If you're just joining us, we just did our morning grounding ritual. If you are interested in more meditations like this one, but maybe a little bit more exploratory, you might want to look at subscribing to my Patreon, where I will be releasing 2 a month to help you on your supernatural and spiritual journey. Till then, you can join me for coffee in the mornings here on YouTube, where apparently I'm going to be eating my breakfast. Making Mr. Spence do it. Oh, I see. Okay. So that's a good journal post, right? Between the strength card, which is overcoming animalism. No, I'm glad, Mr. Spence. I hope it makes your day far more bearable. But overcoming animalism and actually embracing that ferocity, but doing so with grace and courage. Usually in the classic Rider-Waite deck, it shows a woman basically forcing open the mouth of a lion. So it is not only her physical strength that is doing so, obviously, because she is not exactly built to do such feats. However, she has strength of will and, inner strength that is overcoming the lion. Ooh, time. He was also bed bread. Oh, yay. That's awesome. I have a book about journaling today. Like I said yesterday, I use my Book of Mirrors these days for my journaling purposes. For my witchy journaling, which is usually pretty introspective. And really, Book of Mirrors is just a fancy word for witch's journal. For a chaos witch's journal, specifically. Otherwise, it would be a Book of Shadows. Oh, your AC got replaced. Awesome, Debbie. I'm sorry it required repair, but I'm glad it got replaced. So these tarot prompts that Spence is doing are excellent entries for a Book of Shadows or a Book of Mirrors. Excellent. Because it combines both the scientific study of the tarot and also an introspective study as well. So that's she's already on the path of doing awesome magical journaling things. All right, here we go. I will try not to talk with my mouth full. Journaling is a therapeutic practice. It's also a valuable part of working magic. Keeping records of your work allows you to consult notes regarding herbal or incense blends, timing, successes, failures, origins of ideas, references, and experiments with energies of various supplies and components. Partnering or uniting the concepts of reflective self-care journaling and magical journaling in pursuit of self-care just makes sense. 20 years old and it died last summer. Oh my gosh, Debbie. I'm so glad it finally got replaced. Holy cow. You'll have more than one magical and or self-care journal in your life, but so don't get too caught up in finding the perfect one to last forever. Any blank journal or notebook that is pretty and makes you happy or relaxed, one looking at is great. And really, that is the core of it. And that's why when I got over the whole finding the perfect book thing, because I always wanted to make like the perfect grimoire and all of that jazz. And I said, screw it. I got a Ravenclaw journal from Harry Potter land, basically, and thought, oh, wouldn't it be hilarious if I made this my grimoire? So I did. And it's an excellent grimoire. Considering how old it is now, like, it's holding up really well. My Book of Shadows is made in India and leather bound and handmade paper and all of that jazz. I think it cost me $40. And then the Book of Mirrors came in a loot crate. My husband was like, I'm never going to use this. And I was like, I will totally use it. Yeah, it's Game of Thrones, but I don't watch Game of Thrones. I will have a spell and ritual tracking journal coming out in the next week. Like that you're selling? Because that's cool. Yeah, there are all kinds of like pre-printed grimoire pages, pre-printed, yeah, like templates basically for setting up your spells, for setting up your rituals, for both. Like what I do in mine is basically my thought process leading up to why I'm doing this spell. So, and then I write out the spell, and then I write out like basically what the steps are, what I'm doing. And then when I go ahead and I cast the spell, or I do the ritual and all of that jazz, after which it's actually part of the ritual for me to record my findings. The only time where it feels separate is when I travel or I go to my domain or whatever. Like as soon as I come back, I got to do it. Like, do you think you can put your prompts for the tarot where I can find them in Discord? You can pretty much pull a random card on the internet. There are all kinds of like groovy apps and stuff that you can pull a random card for the day. I don't really have prompts. I just pull cards for myself and end up journaling interpretations. Yeah, exactly. That way your experience is unique to you. And your journey of learning the deck, and learning about that aspect of yourself, for that matter, is genuinely yours. All right. But yeah, get over that. The journal must be perfect and pretty and made of special paper and leather bound and 11 by 17 and hardback and all of that, like crazy stuff. Like a Hello Kitty spiral bound thing is just as good. Just as good. Like whatever brings you happiness and makes you feel like you're doing good work is really, really the important part. Do you already keep a magical journal, recording your energy work, spells, and rituals? Decide if you want to have a separate self-care journal or if you're just going to use your existing magical journal for that purpose. I started including my self-care in my Book of Mirrors because my ritual work has become very self-care centric. Like the actions themselves are very, very fueling for me. So, a self-care journal tip: glue an envelope to the back cover or use washi tape to tape the bottom and side of the last 2 pages to make a pocket at the top. This allows you to keep loose things in it. Also, if you bullet journal, it's, do the thing. I could probably make a pocket in this book. The following rituals will help you. Oh, hold up. Decide if you want to have a self-care journal or if you're going to use your existing magical journal for the purpose. Do what feels right for you. You can always start one way and switch later if your initial choice doesn't work for you. My current journal is almost full, so I bought a new one out of recycled paper and went on a buying spree of recycled paper stuff. I remember when that was going down. I can relate so hard. I have so many journals like bookmarked in my wish list that I intend to use for Book of Mirrors or Books of Shadow, or there is a difference between all of those things, but Jenny is selling journals on Amazon. That is also awesome. Following rituals will help you get started with your journaling practice. The first is a simple technique to bless your new self-care journal. The second establishes optimal conditions to allow a productive journaling session. Thank you guys for being patient. Before you start using new tools, it's a good idea to cleanse and bless them or dedicate them to their intended purpose. This ritual calls for a candle and some incense that will be used for your future self-care journaling sessions, as well as initial blessing. Why not start using a new pen as well? Yeah. I started using very specific, like metallic ink for my Book of Shadows, but I can't fathom just shoveling money into those pens because I run out so fast because the recycled paper, the handmade paper rather, that I'm using just soaks up the ink like crazy. So what you need. And so this makes it so keep it in use with your self-care journal, just for use with your journal. So I do have a it says spell book on the front. I don't know if that is going to be a spell book per se. But it comes with a groovy little wand pen thing. It's goofy. It's campy. It's great. All right, so what you need is a candle in a color you associate with clarity and self-reflection. White or pale blue or pale yellow. And a candle holder, of course. Incense of your choice, and a thing to put the incense in. Something to light both. The new notebook, the new pen, markers, stickers, washi tape, whatever. You know, especially if you do bullet journal-y stuff in your witch's journal. I have a dear witchy friend who does exactly that. She makes beautiful spreads for her BOS. Beautiful spreads. And she's doing very bullet journal-y things for her Book of Mirrors, which is super cool. More ambitious than I'm like, my Book of Mirrors is not fancy at all. I've taped in some pictures. I just use a pencil. I don't use any kind of special ink or anything. Okay, let's see. Center and ground. I want to try a bullet journal on my iPad. Yeah, me too. You can do it in Procreate. I've tried to do it in the Moleskine app, but I'm so used to using Procreate that it's just a mess. So I've gotten to the point where I might do like a calendar setup in Procreate. I don't know. We'll see. I've done some grimoire pages and some headwriting journal pages in Procreate, and I've made them particularly artsy. And they're set up in such a way that people can download them and print them out and put them in their BOSs or their grimoires. Sounds like she's got a one to use and one to show setup going on. One to show being the hardcore, tried and true ones. I actually went fancy first. And then when I got to my third book, I was like, especially when it came to recording my findings and stuff, I was over it. I just didn't feel the need to be fancy anymore. What page do you think we should use for Procreate? How do you mean? I use 11 by 17 because I can size it. Like, the resolution in Procreate is like 224 or something like that, which is not quite enough print res for me. So I do it at 11 by 17 and then I can size it down from there. She just recently started bullet journaling too. So because she's finding that if she gets a pre-printed planner, she's just wasting paper some months. Some months she is like, yeah, right on. Yep. Light the candle and incense. Get comfy. Ground yourself. All that stuff. Pass the notebook. I anointed mine with oil rather than passed it over the candle, but you can cleanse it however you want to cleanse it. Or smoke cleanse it, you know, like just using smoke to, you know, cleanse the book. That works too. I kind of doubled up because Disney and turfdom and all of that wacky shit. Repeat it with the pen. Hold the book and close your eyes. Take a few breaths. Say the stuff if you want to say the stuff. Write this or a blessing of your own creation on the first page of your journal. Decorate it as you like, with markers, stickers, washi tape, whatever makes you feel warm and happy when you look at it. The first thing that I put in mine is like a set of rules that I live by. Incense is great. Incense is great. I actually prefer using incense than passing it over a flame. Unless I'm really going for the burned edges aesthetic or something, which I've done with cards and letters and stuff like that. Probably it is more about intentions, so I've learned this far. Yeah. Incense is great for cleansing, most especially, both yourself and any objects that you have, any drinks or food. Just the smoke, though. You don't want to use any toxic resin or anything like that for food things. In my bullet journals, I lay out a page of expectations. That's one way to do it. Let's see, tips. You can use a series of small candles, or you can dedicate a large pillar candle to your journaling sessions. This is insinuating that you're going to make a ritual out of writing in your journal. You can do that, but I just tack it on to the end of a witchy session in general. That way, if I'm interrupted, it's not a big deal. Bullet journaling has made me appreciate initial programming that goes into a journal to give it intention. Yeah. Let's see, if you're using stick incense, you don't have to let a whole stick burn every time you light it. I like to use cone incense, but it's harder for me to get a hold of. If you're finished before the incense stick is, just tamp it out gently in the censer and slip it back in the packet for the next time. Or break it in half and use only one half at a time. Experiment and see what works for you. So, you know what? Let me show you. Hold on. I'm going to grab it real quick. Ah! All right. Oh, it smells so good. All right. So this is Fortune. You can buy it, and this is the cheap stuff that you can buy off the SGI site. You can probably just look up Buddhist incense, or you can go to SGI .usa, sgi-usa.com or something like that, and check out their shop, and you can get this for like $1. It is stamped, so you can break it. You can, I just like to burn the whole stick because there are thousands of them in here. It's made in Japan. Comes in all kinds of flavors. They're all good. I think this is patchouli. No, it's sandalwood. This is sandalwood. I have lavender as well, which I like just as much. This is the stuff I grew up with. I like this incense the best because you can put it in any kind of censer and it'll burn just fine. It burns best in a dish like I showed you guys when I gave you a tour of the shrine. When it's basically a bed full of ashes, incense ashes, right? But ashes, and just keep adding to it. So I think there's 20, no, it got dumped. There's probably 6 years worth of ashes in there right now. I'll put that back. So for cleansing, I like to use it to cleanse a room. Also to pay homage. Smoke is a great offering. It's always been looked at as an offering to the Gohonzon. And also when I do it at my shrines for goddesses and gods and stuff like that, I think of it as an offering. But you can use the offering as a cleansing thing. And I just, we used, so I used to participate in like Roman like trance work, and it was ritualized. So when we first showed up, you offer some food, usually chocolate and bananas, because those are really great after you've had a wipeout. Oh, I didn't realize my thing fell. Son of a gun. You make yourself smell good. So you anoint yourself with oil, you smudge yourself with smoke, you offer the food. You can douse yourself with rose water or Florida water or whatever, because you want to smell good for the gods. And we would sing and play instruments and dance until we passed out, basically. And you trance out when you're dancing. There's a poi was the best for me because it's a flow art, right? You want to pick a very simple movement. It's a form of meditation, and it is a way to touch like the divine without harming yourself or harming others. I avoid using fire and smoke things because my sinuses are so damn sensitive. Mr. Spence got me a candle warmer so I can still have scented candles. That's cool. I I would say anointing with oil is probably a good way of blessing, cleansing, stuff like that. Um, I used a mix of frankincense and myrrh, and then I just started using myrrh. It was fine. Something that smells good, especially with leather. Um, I would say sometimes it'll stain your stuff depending on what kind of material it's made out of. Um, I haven't had trouble with it staining my stuff yet, but I'm also using like leather bound things. So that, I mean, you can make a whole, yeah, I got a candle warmer right here. I got like 4 candles that are like this much left, that I try and get the most out of the end of the candle as much as possible. With my lung so messed up, I can't do burnings of anything right now. Yeah, yeah. Um, candle warmers are great, especially if a candle is really low and you can't light it anymore anyway. Um, if you have a full candle and you use a warmer, then you end up with just a bunch of scentless wax, and you can make new candles out of it. Mm-hmm. So it's a bunch of scentless candles, but you just throw some essential oils in there for it to smell how you want it to smell, while the oil or the wax is still hot. Mix it up real good. You don't even have to put a wick in it or anything like that if you're just gonna put it on your warmer. Yeah. So if you can't burn stuff, go ahead and anoint it. Or if burning stuff like agitates you, feel free to use oil instead. And the oil can be the same like sandalwood or frankincense or lavender or jasmine or whatever you think will work. Hi, bye. How's my little bee going? Oh, hi, Christina. Thank you for reminding people to like the stream. So here's a journaling framework ritual. Using magical ritual is a way of setting an action or a sequence apart from the everyday world. Repeating a certain sequence of actions also allows you to become very familiar with what comes next in the sequence. In the case of this framework, it trains your mind to quickly slip into the calm headspace that it is ideal for reflective journaling. This framework calls for a candle and incense of your choice, preferably in colors and scents you associate with peace and clarity. A familiar setting will act as a trigger to help you reach your relaxed, self-reflective state more easily every time. You could use a meditation incense here as well. See chapter 5. It's basically more grounding. Yeah, it says to center and ground anyway. Center and ground. Peace around me, I am present in this moment. Meditate for a second. Open your notebook or journal or whatever you intend to record. Go ahead and record. When you're done, close the book. Thank the universe. Try playing the same album or playlist of relaxed meditative music while you journal to further create the self-care atmosphere. I like having specific atmosphere. There is a YouTuber who calls themselves Skeed, Skeed. He specifically specializes in atmospheric sound and frequencies that put you in that headspace like almost immediately. Let me see if I can put a link. He calls himself meditation music. And he updates regularly, which is awesome. They just recently put up a track that is Lilith themed, and so it uses cellos and flutes and more natural instruments to make the frequencies, to make the drone that puts you in gnosis. I know I'm early, but I just wanted to get it out before I got some more coffee. Thank you, Christina. So they're Skeed. I like to listen to them when I travel, when I do spell work, when pretty much that. When I do domain work or anything like that. Yeah, it just puts me right into gnosis. Just takes like a minute or two. I find their music very useful. You can also hunt around for other meditation music or spell work music that is used for meditation. They don't do it for me, but they might work for other people. So this book wants you to make your self-care journaling like its own ritual. But I don't feel the need to do that. Chapter 2 is next. We've got 10 minutes left. We can talk about identifying our self-care vision, figuring out our goals, making a mood board, affirmations, start your day with self-care. We can talk about all that tomorrow. That's right. See you later, Jenny. I have a busy day ahead of me as well, which is why the breakfast and whatnot. So my Monday and Tuesday were, well, Tuesday wasn't a total wash. I got a couple hours in, but just not as much as I would have liked. Oh, I stained my book. So if you liked this video at any point, go ahead and hit the like button. If you'd like to see some of the stuff that we talk about tomorrow and for the rest of the week, you might want to hit subscribe, maybe ring the bell on the off chance that it'll notify you. Tuesday was a party day. Monday was a freak out over my mom day. So I haven't gotten as much work this week as I would have liked, but it's working out. Like I got to work early today, so I might actually get to go to print for Hope's chest. Do all the things, huh? Gotta work on comics, gotta work on hi Heather, we're just wrapping up. I know I've been pumping my Patreon and whatnot, but I'm thinking about closing it up and just putting videos back on YouTube. You know? Also naps and rest and water. As long as I put in 5 hours of work a day, feel good about it. So if I can put in 8, that's even better, but I don't want to burn myself out, so. $9 to $20 worth, but I can give 10%, which is at least 6. I know that's not nothing, but you do a lot, and it's what I can give. That's sweet. I have grandiose ideas for my Tylwyth Teg Patreon, but in order to make it worth my time, like, I had to jack up prices. And to cover the cost of, like, material goods and all of that stuff. I might do like a $2, like, thanks for supporting me sort of situation, but I actually used this book. I got like a fancy sticker on it. My mom gave me like a rando sketchbook, and I was using it for the Sovereign Witch in December / beginning of this month. I have heard that coffee is better than Patreon. I can do classes through Patreon. I don't know that I can do them through coffee. So it depends on, because coffee allows you to do a one-time donation and Patreon does not. Unless you like go through the rigmarole to like, you know, post your money and then immediately cancel, which you can do on Patreon. You just gotta make sure that you communicate with the person that it's going to be a one-time thing. So they don't wait out when you leave. I do intend on writing more meditations that I was going to release on Patreon only. But I fear that they might be a little too expensive. I don't know. I guess I got to reassess my stuff because it's been a month and my Patreon no worky. So yeah, if you liked this video at any point, hit the like button. If you want to see what we do for the rest of the week, hit subscribe, maybe ring the bell. On the off chance that YouTube will notify you. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.